Hey everyone, in just a few days it will officially be November, and that means that the holiday season is just around the corner. In this episode I'm sharing with you 5 of my favorite holiday sweater patterns to get you in the festive mood. Plus I'll give you a little update on my holiday sweater plans. So grab some hot chocolate and your knitting and let's get started. Hi, I'm Christy, and welcome back to Knitting by the Bay, a podcast all about making, but mostly knitting. In today's episode, we're checking out 5 fun and festive holiday sweater knitting patterns to get you in the holiday spirit. And after we've gone through the bundle, I wanted to share with you some of the progress on my plans for my own holiday sweater. I wanted to get some advice or your opinion on what direction I should take with it. You guys are so helpful in the comments, and I can't wait to hear what you guys think about it. Just a little mention that if you'd like to support the channel, I have a Ko-Fi or Ko-fi account. I can never remember how to pronounce that. All donations to that account go straight towards buying yarn and patterns for any upcoming projects on the podcast. It really helps me to keep sharing things with you guys and be able to keep creating content for this channel. You can also join my YouTube membership if you like to support the channel that way. All members get a cute little bird badge that goes beside their name whenever they leave a comment, as well as they get top priority when I'm replying to comments. As always, just watching, commenting, liking, just being a part of this community means so much to me. Before we jump into the bundle, I wanted to share with you guys my finished handbag that I made using the kit from Babylon Leather. So a little while ago, they contacted me to see if I wanted to try out one of their handbag kits. And I went on the website and I was like, yes, I definitely do. There's so many different types of bags on there. And I was really, really excited. I've seen some other knitting podcasters that have tried out the kits, and I just loved all of the projects that they made. So I was really excited to get a kit of my own. I wanted to put it together on here and share with you guys my honest opinion about the kit. They're not paying me to talk about it, but they did so nicely gift me the kit. And yeah, I just wanted to give you guys my honest opinion about this kit. So first I'll show you my finished bag. I love it. So this is called the Cambridge bag. And I just thought it was such a cute little bag with the, it's not a huge bag and it's a crossbody, but it also has this little handle on it too. It has these magnetic snaps, and then you've got the main part of the bag, which is actually for like a smaller size bag. It's very roomy in there. And then you have this other smaller pocket here in the front. And I think it turned out so good. So for the kit, it's super, super easy to get started with the kit. They give you everything that you need to put it together. So they give you all of the leather, all the different pieces are all cut out. They're all punched already for the needle holes. You get everything you need. The hardware, you get some wax thread, which is really nice and easy to sew with. You get a pair of little snips, you get a little screwdriver. Even they've thought of everything. You don't need to buy anything to put this together at all. Each kit comes with a video tutorial. So you can go on and you watch the tutorial. There's no sound with it. So you just read the directions below, but it's very, very simple and very well explained. And then they have also quick online support as well if you need it. I really had so much fun putting this thing together. I think I picked one that was had a little bit more sewing to do. So it took me a little while, but every time I sat down to sew it, it was so much fun, so relaxing to do in a different way than knitting would be. When I was finished, I was showing it to my mother-in-law and to my husband, and I was like, look at this bag. I made this bag. I'm like, isn't it like, it's so professional looking? Like, it does not look handmade at all. And I was like, I said to them, I don't feel like I'm bragging about this because it's not me. It's the kit that was so easy to do and really well thought out. I have experience with sewing. I do sewing on my machine, and I've done some embroidery and some cross stitch and stuff like that, but I've never hand sewn leather before or a bag like this before. So, yeah, I feel like if I can do this and put this together, anybody can do it. It's very, very easy and lots of fun. And I love, love, love how this turned out. So if you guys are interested in trying out the kits, I have a special discount code, which is Christy10, and I will put that down below with the link to use the code down below if you're interested in getting one of these kits. And again, this one was called the Cambridge bag, and this color is called coffee. All right, so back to the bundle. Let's get started with pattern number 1, which is the Betty sweater. This is a pattern by Claudia Quintanilla of Unit Toronto. It's a fingering weight sweater. The yarn is held double, so 2 strands of fingering, and you knit it using a US 4 or a 3.5 millimeter needle. The suggested yarn is Madeline Tosh Silk Cloud or Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Mohair. And the sizes range from 76 centimeters to 154.5 centimeters, or 30 to 60, I don't have my glasses on, and 3/4 inches. So this sweater is worked top down for a seamless construction. It begins at the neckline and is shaped using short rows for a very comfortable fit. It's knit in the round to the underarm, joining the front and back seamlessly. The body and sleeves are worked in one piece, eliminating the need for seaming. And it uses 2 strands of mohair held together for a very light and airy fabric with a really nice and gentle drape. It has stockinette stitch throughout for a very clean and classic look. And then it's finished with simple ribbed edges. And I think that this is a really beautiful sweater that you could wear all season long. It's not, it's not Christmassy or anything like that. But I think it's a little, it's a beautiful dressy sort of knit that you could wear to a holiday party. The fluffiness and the mohair held double make it like really light and airy and very special, especially if you were to knit it in this beautiful cranberry color, or I could imagine it in like a really deep forest green. Hey guys, Future Christy here. I just want to let you know if you're interested in knitting Betty, Claudia is going to be hosting a special Betty Christmas knit along. It begins on November 20th, and you can follow along on her YouTube channel where she's going to have a special discount as well as community updates, check ins, and a giveaway. There will also be YouTube tutorials from Claudia as well as progress videos. I'm going to put the link down below to the sign up for the knit along so you can find it in the description down below. All right, back to the bundle now. Pattern number 2 on my list is the Nordic Snowflake sweater. So this is a more winter themed colorwork sweater. The designer is Cheryl Mokhtari, and it's a light fingering plus lace held together for a fingering weight. It is knit on US 6 or 4 millimeter needles, and the suggested yarns, I don't think I can pronounce, so they're going up on the screen here. And the sizes range from 90.5 centimeters to 165.5 centimeters, or 35 3/4 to 65 1/4 inches. This one has a top-down construction for a seamless fit. It's worked in the round with a circular yoke, and then the neckline begins with ribbing before transitioning into the colorwork. The yoke features this Nordic-inspired snowflake motif, and then you have optional short rows after the colorwork to lift up the yoke forward for a better neckline fit. The body and sleeves are separated after the yoke, and new stitches are cast on in the underarms. And then both body and sleeves are worked in the round down to the hem and cuffs. And I think this is a very simple looking colorwork sweater. You can knit it in more traditional colors if you like, or you could go for some tonal neutrals. And I think like if you were to knit it in a darker gray with a bit of a lighter gray for the snowflakes, I think that that will look really nice. Not super, it wouldn't look Christmassy, but it would look really seasonal for winter. And this one could be worn all season long. Pattern number 3 is called the Northern Augustins number 6. This is a pattern by Anne-Sophie Velling. So this is knit using 2 fingering yarns held together, a fingering yarn plus a mohair, and you knit it using US 6 or 4mm needles. The suggested yarn is Crea Deluxe Organic Wool 1 plus Crea Deluxe Silk Mohair. And the sizes range from 100 centimeters to 170 centimeters, or 39 and a quarter to 67 inches. This one is knit top down in the round. It features a circular yoke with multicolored charted design, and it has 2 strands of yarn held together throughout. It uses 6 different colors for a very bold and Nordic inspired colorwork motif. And it is knit, the body is knit in stockinette stitch with a double layered twisted rib edges. So the hems and the collar are twisted rib that is folded over. And it's designed to have approximately 8 inches of positive ease for an oversized and relaxed fit. Now, this one is a little bit more Christmassy, obviously, with the Christmas trees and the presents. I've had my eye on this one for a long time, and I'd really like to knit it one day. I think I would probably use the same colors for the contrasting colors that are used in the sample, but I would maybe knit it instead on like a light beigey colored background. Another adorable colorwork sweater that is not technically a holiday sweater, but I think it would make a really like special sweater for the season. I think that this time of year is the time that you can have a little bit more fun with your colorwork choices. So this one is called the Corgi sweater slash Christmas winter design, and it's a pattern by Rose Marine. It is a sport weight sweater knit on US 4 or 3.5mm needles. And the suggested yarn is Inca Tops Anta, which is 100% superfine alpaca. The sizes range from 96 centimeters to 117 centimeters, or 38 to 46 inches. This is a top-down construction knit in the round. It features a circular yoke with a stranded colorwork, and it was inspired by the designer's corgi named Eastwood. It's ideal, she says, for intermediate knitters that are comfortable with stranded knitting in the round. I think that this is really, really cute. I love the little corgis, and I think if you were to knit it on a forest green background, maybe it might give it a little bit more of a festive look. I don't have a corgi. We don't have corgis. We have 2 mini Aussie Shepherds, Charlie and Bandit, and they are sisters, but they are not related. So Bandit actually, as she grew up, she kind of developed a very corgi-like look. She has, I'll put some pictures up here of her. She has a very long body and then these short little stubby legs. And sometimes when, like her ears flop over, but sometimes when they're kind of standing up or whatever, she looks a little bit like a corgi. And I've said this to people before. And then one day, a couple of years ago, I was picking my son up from school, and there was a dog there that looked exactly like Bandit. And I went up and like talked to the owner and I said, "Oh, what kind of dog? It's Aussie Shepherd or Corgi?" And she was like, "Actually, it's a Aussie Corgi mix." And I thought it looked identical to Bandit. So I don't know if possibly she has a little bit of Corgi in her. And I could knit this sweater and sort of change the colors because she is a blue merle, so she's gray and white and some like brown spots on her. So I could change the colors in the chart to look more like her, but I think that maybe Charlie might get a little jealous if Bandit had her own sweater and Charlie didn't. This last pattern in my bundle is a very festive one. This is a sweater to make if you really want a very Christmassy vibe, and you could make it for the whole family if you wanted to. It's called Home for Christmas, and it's by Renard and Dormy. Renard and Dormy, and I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. It's a DK weight sweater knit on US 6 or 4mm needles. One of the suggested yarns for this one is Santa's Garn Pure Gint. The sizes range from 65 to 156 centimeters or 25 and a half to 61 and a half inches. This one is worked seamlessly top down in the round. It starts at the neckline with the ribbing, then it transitions into the colorwork yoke. The yoke features the Christmas tree and this retro car motif. After the yoke, you can add short rows to improve the fit at the back. The body and sleeves are separated at the armholes and work downward in the round. The cuffs and hem are finished with ribbing that echoes the neckline. And the sleeves in this pattern for adults are a fitted sleeve. And then for the children's sizes, they're just a straight sleeve. And it has 0 to 4 inches of positive ease recommended. This is a really cute holiday sweater. It totally looks like a Hallmark Christmas movie to me, and I could imagine these two guys wearing matching ones. If you celebrate Christmas and have enough time, I think it would be so fun to make matching ones for the whole family. And for even more fun, you can make the matching socks too, or just make the socks if you don't have enough time. All right, so now I wanted to talk about some of my holiday knitting plans. So you may have noticed behind me here, this is my fallow sweater that I knit for last year's holiday sweater. I can't remember the name of the designer, but I will link it down below. But I used Durare Natura Ulysse in the color cedar for the body and the color quartz for the reindeer. And then I held the quartz together with Knitting for Olive soft silk mohair in the color ballerina, I think. Ballerina pink, I think. And so I just held the mohair just for the deers because I thought it would be kind of cute to have the deers a little bit fluffy and the rest of the sweater not. And so you may notice or may not, but I have this one back on the needles again. So that's why it's all bunched up here at the bottom. So I decided, again, because I had made this one last year a little bit cropped, I thought it would be really cute to have it cropped. But to be honest, it's not super comfortable to wear with a lot of the clothes that I have. So I decided since I actually had a ball and a half left of the cedar. So I thought I'm just gonna rip out the ribbing and add some more inches to it. So that's what I've been working on lately. And I think I'm gonna like it a lot more when it's a little bit longer. I'm probably gonna add about, I think 4 or 5 inches to it. So it was quite cropped before. And yeah, I'm just gonna keep knitting until I run out of yarn, I think. Okay, and so now I want to talk about some of my plans for my holiday sweater. So I was looking around on the internet, sort of shopping on the internet, and I came across a sweater on the LL Bean website that I thought was really, really cute. It's a cardigan that has color work on it. It has lace as well. And I thought it was really, really cute. And it's not a Christmassy sweater or a holiday sweater, but I thought it was like a special sweater that I could make during the season. And I could wear it all season long as well, because most likely I'm not going to get a Christmas sweater finished in time. I just have too many projects going on right now, but I wanted something special to sort of celebrate the season. So I'll show you a picture of the LL Bean sweater. This is it here. And then I was kind of looking around on Ravelry to find a sweater that I thought looked a lot like this one, like the same style as this one, and that I could add color work to and lace to as well. And I found Andrea Mowry's DRK Everyday Cardi, I think it's called. And I'll put a picture of that one here as well. And I thought that this one had like the same sort of vibe going on. So I decided I wanted to knit it in Durare Natura Ulysse again. And so I ordered these 4 colors. So a little bit different than what is in the LL Bean sweater. And the reason that I chose these ones was because the dog in that one is a very like mustardy yellow, which is not, one of my colors from my seasonal color palette, which I think I'm a soft summer. So that one doesn't really suit me. So this is what I ordered. When it arrived, like I was going to have the dogs in this darker brown color, but when it arrived, this really didn't have enough contrast to show up for those dogs. And I did try and I knit a little bit using the two of them to see, and it just didn't pop out enough. And I thought, this is my holiday sweater. I don't need to take it so seriously and do it in my own seasonal color palette. Like, who really cares? I want to knit it more for fun and, to see this cute dog motif on it. So I ended up picking up this mustardy color. So this one is called Dore, Dore. And I also decided to change the background color because once I put this with the other ones, with that color, I kind of felt like it sort of muddied the colors a little bit and didn't make the contrasting colors really pop in the way that I wanted. So I ended up changing it to use this one, which is Poivre Blanc, and to use that one. I thought that that made the other colors pop a little bit better. So I think that that's going to look really good. And then I've got about a sweater's quantity of this one left over, which this one is called Poivre. And so I've got a sweater's quantity of this one, so I can use this to make something else. And I kind of want to make a second DRK cardigan in just a plain color as well, because I really like the look and fit of that cardigan, but we'll see how I get by making the first one. And so I have been working away at trying to adapt this pattern to have the lace from the LL Bean sweater as well as the color work in it. Some of the color work is super easy. The blue kind of stripes or whatever, very easy. The lace is pretty simple, and I was able to put that in. So what I did was just went line by line from her pattern and figured it out. I sort of did charts for the different sections. And so the DRK cardigan is a raglan sleeve, and so is a LL Bean sweater. But the LL Bean sweater has the color work going right over the raglan shaping. And I really didn't want to get involved with that. I thought I was going to get too confused. Maybe it's simple, but to me, it just seemed like I was already trying to figure out like the counts for the lace and the color work that I didn't want to bother with worrying about the raglan increases as well. So I decided to just put the color work, like the dogs, in between those. So it's going to have like 2 dogs on the front, 2 dogs on each sleeve, and then 2 dogs on the back. And then with the raglans in between those sections. So I thought that that would make it easier for me to understand in my brain. I'll put the charts that I designed up on the screen here so you can see what I'm, thinking. And I made these charts using a program called PC Stitch because I also design cross stitch patterns. So I already had that on my computer. But if you're interested in a free online sort of program, you can use Stitch Fiddle, and that is free, and it includes everything if you want to do cross stitch charts, if you want to do knitting or crochet. My program that I used, I just like the interface better on there, and that's why I used it. But mine is only for cross stitch, so it doesn't include any of the knitting symbols or anything like that. So it's a very basic chart. And I'm going to be using like my written notes as well as this chart, but I wanted to get an idea of how it would look and how the motifs would fit in each section. So I will show it to you here. I've got it positioned upright so you can see it better, but when I'm knitting from it, I'll be knitting upside down because I'll be knitting the cardigan from the top to bottom. So I'm going to show you my swatch that I have. It's not the best swatch or anything, and I've only done a little chunk of the pattern on it. And then I just cast it off because it was kind of annoying me to be honest. And I am I'm going to be knitting this sweater in the round, and I'm going to be steeking it. So it's a cardigan that's knit flat, but I think that it would be very easy to steek this because it's just a very like straight line down here down the front, and then I will just add stitches for the steek and cut it open and then add the button band after. And I think that will work out really well. because I'm going to be adding the color work to this one, and I didn't want to be knitting color work flat. So I ended up doing my swatch. There is a way that you can knit a swatch in the round where you just carry the strand behind the swatch. But that was kind of annoying me, so I ended up just cutting the strands. And then, yeah, so that's why it kind of has all these weird bits on the end. So it doesn't look great because this is the first swatch that I've made, but I'll just show you a little of what it has so far. Well, I guess it would be going this way. Sorry. So that is it there. So it has some lace, this blue striping, some upside down triangle or chevron lace, I guess it's called, some more lace, and then the color work with the dogs begins. And I stopped there because I didn't like the way it was looking. And I was thinking because there's going to be a lot of space in between the dogs. And so you would be like carrying the floats a long way over. And I started thinking, okay, maybe I could do some ladder back jacquard, which is a way of carrying the floats behind where you are actually making another layer of fabric behind your main piece. And that's where the floats are carried up so that you don't see any of that the yarn being carried at the front of the work because it's an extra layer behind. It's not poking through at all. And so I thought maybe I could do that with him. And I also thought maybe I could do intarsia, but I've never done intarsia before and I really don't know how that works. I'd have to look into that. But then I thought, why don't I do duplicate stitch just for the dogs? So I can do the red polka dots that are behind the dogs, just color work because they are spaced like 5 stitches apart or something. So I could just catch the floats behind. But for the dogs, I could just go in and duplicate stitch them later. So there's going to be 8 dogs that I would have to duplicate stitch. So I wanted your opinion, what you think about that. What would be the right way to approach this? So that it looks the neatest. And, I think duplicate stitching it might take a while, but I don't think it's going to take, well, I don't imagine it's going to take that long that it won't be worth it in the end. I don't know. What do you guys think? I've only done duplicate stitching like a couple times, so I don't know. But I think that would give it a very neat look. And I wouldn't have to worry about catching my floats or doing any of that while I'm knitting the sweater. I would just go back after and add the dogs to it. So yeah, what do you guys think? What's your opinion on that? Let me know what you think. Another really cute thing from the LL Bean sweater is the ear on the dog has been embroidered on. So I could do that as well to my sweater. And I think that that would look really cute. And I really like the ribbing that the LL Bean sweater has, so I'm going to be doing mine with a twisted rib as well. All right, so that's everything that I had to talk about today. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you're able to find some inspiration for your next cozy holiday sweater. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing so you don't miss out on any future content. I always love hearing from you guys. Leave me a comment down below what you're planning on knitting for the holiday season. I try my best to read through all the comments as well as to respond to as many of them as I can. I just absolutely love this little community that we've got going on here. I'll be back next week to share with you my progress on all of my knits. And until next time, happy knitting, everyone. Bye.
Saw you paint a picture of a face, a face that wasn't even close to mine. I know I shouldn't be in love, but it's give you the world like I promised I would. Even though you wouldn't do the same, I'd give you the world like I promised I would. Even though you wouldn't do the same.